Okay, good morning everyone. So today we're going to do the tutorial of skeletons, or inside Blender we call the skeleton as amateurs. So what's the meaning and what's the function of amateurs? Basically, when we are working on our 3D models, we will not if we wanna move the model, we will not directly edit this model and go to edit mode and change the geometry manually. Rather than that, we will create a controller, and basically the skeleton, or let's say the amateur, is the controller. So if you want to make a character animations, or if you want to make probably the animation for a car, or for transportations, or for different kinds of animal, we will create a controller for your model. So that one is the amateurs, or inside Maya we call that one skeletons. So through control the skeletons, we can design the movement for the character, and then we can using that one to do the animation or even for games. So it's a very important thing, but to be honestly, it's a little boring because it requires a lot of different kind of logic thinking to think about how to control the model and how to using the different relationship to create more different movements or actions. So it's a little bit complicated and also a little bit boring to be honestly. Anyway, let's take a look. So inside Blender, let's turn on our shortcut viewer first, right here. And inside Blender, how to add on an amateur? Press Shift A, go to amateurs right here. And with this one, you can directly create a single bones. And as far as you can see, there are another one, for example, like human meta rig or animals or basic. There are multiple different ways to create bones, but the basic one is just like this. It was some kind of something like a cones, and this is the end part, and this is the head part. So basically, if you um, basically the end part will follow the movement of the root part. And if you select this one and and go to the scroll down list, you can find out there are three different types for the bond. The first one is object mode. Basically, it's just one object. The object mode about the bones, you can move the entire bones. And the second one is about edit mode. Inside edit mode, you can do the additions for this one. For example, if you want to create more, you can press E and Z and extrude more sections, just like this. And also, you can also do the movement right here, or probably choosing this one and do rotations. And as far as you can see, no matter how you move or how you rotate, this one, uh, this one still will connect it to the second one. That's because the pairing relationship. Inside this bone, this is the root bone, and this is the second bone, and this is the third bone. The third bone will follow the second bone, the second bone will follow the root bone. So that's the sequence and hierarchy of these bones, of these skeletons. So when we are going to do animations, it's a very important thing because as far as your observation, if you take a look about the human behavior or human activity, you can see our hand for sure it will follow the movement of our arms, and our arms will follow the movement of our shoulder. So there is a relationship of the physical world, and for sure they're supposed to have a relationship in the digital world. The third one is supposed to follow the second one, and the second one is supposed to follow the root one. So that's the logic. And finally, it's about pose mode. If you go to pose mode, as far as you can see, when you select the bones, it will become blue color. And what does that mean? Basically, pose mode is something when we are going to do animations, we will use in pose mode. We can use in pose mode to do different kind of pose design and set key for the pose so that we can make animations. So all this mode has different function. Object mode basically is just move the entire bones, the most basic one. And if you press tab key, you can go to the edit mode, and you can extrude the skeleton or change the shape of the skeleton. And if you go to edit mode, pose mode, you can do the actives and the gesture design right here. So no matter how you move, for example, let's move this one under the pose mode. If you change back to edit mode or you change back to object mode will keep the position because basically object mode doesn't have much meaning. It just go back to the object layers or uh, object mode to choosing different object. And for pose mode, it's about to editing different pose. So for sure, these things between pose mode and object mode, they're supposed to be the same. But inside edit mode, it will keep the basic shape. So no matter how you move the geometry inside pose mode or object mode, this one will keep the same, so that it will be easier for you to do the extrusions or editing. Okay, and if you go to the object mode, okay, it will look like this. Alright, so this is the 3 different type inside bones, and we can through switch in between these 3 different modes, we can do the additions for the bones. Okay, so after you understanding the inner logic of the bones and the different modes of the bones, let's take a look. If I already changed the skeleton like this, shape like this, how can I switch back to the original shape? There is a way. For sure, inside edit mode, it will look the same, but when we are going to pose mode, it will be different. How can I switch back to the original positions? Actually, inside the pose mode, they always remember, Blender will always help you to remember the original position. So if you rotate this one, you can just click Auto and R, and you can switch back. And if you have moved this one, you can press Auto and G or Auto and S, and you can switch back to the original shape and original scale and original position. So it's a very important way to set the bones back to the original position. Auto G, Auto R, and Auto S. Very important thing you need to know. Okay, so for now we have this one. Let's do another one. Shift A and create a bone right here. Single bones, and move this one to the side. Press tab key, go to edit mode, select the end part and press E for extrusions, and I want more. E, V for extrusions. So now we have 3 sections. But for now I wanna disconnect this bone. And how can we do that? Let's take a look. So if you wanna disconnect this bone, we can try to click Auto and P. There are 2 different selections. The first one is disconnect the bone. So once you disconnect the bone, you can move this one to another side. And if you switch back to the pose mode, as far as you can see, you can move them to different position, and it will not be affected or be connected to the second bones. But if you choosing this one and choosing R, it will still follow the movement of the second bones. So what can we do with that? For example, if you want to use this one to control the end part, and the length of the end part will not be limited. For example, like this is a tail, or you can shrink or extend it. You can use this way to control that kind of model. Okay, and so this is the first one. But what if I just want to clear the parent relationship? I want this one will get rid of the second bone. How can we do that? Again, press Auto and P, and you can just choosing clear parent. If you're choosing this one, let's go to pose mode, and if you move the second bone again, it will not be affected by the second bones. So that's the difference. If you're choosing clear bone, they will completely remove the relationship between the second bonds and the third bonds. But if you choosing, let's do the Control Z and go back to original status. If you just choosing this one and choosing Auto P, disconnect bond, it will just allow you to move the bonds outside on the different positions. So that's the major difference. Okay, let's do this. Auto P. For now, I have already disconnect, so I would delete this one. Let's take a look at this. Auto P and disconnect bonds. And how can we know that? Actually, there is a very easy way to see. Go to post mode and you can press Z. As far as you can see, there is still a dot line in between these two bonds. And so that it means, although you can move this one to everywhere you want, anywhere you want, but they still have relationship in between these two bonds. So that's the things we can know. There is still relationship between these two bonds. Let's go to edit mode again. And this time I want to put this one back. Auto G, put this one back. Let's go to edit mode. What if I want to rebond these two bonds together? So recreate the parent relationship in between them. How can we do that? Let's select both of them and press Ctrl and P and choosing keep offset or connected. Okay, that's the things we can do. Let's take a look. Let's choose this one. Ctrl P, connected. So let's take a look. Go to post mode, press G, okay, and press R, okay. It was restricted by the first bond. And if you press G, okay, it cannot move because it was restricted by the first one. But let's do that again. Let's press Auto G, Auto R, and back to the original status. Go to edit mode, and let's choose this one. Press G and Z. Sorry for that. Let's use in Auto P first. Let's clear the parent first and move this one up. Okay, and now let's rejoin them together. Control P, choosing the song first and choosing the parent second. Control P, and this time I want to choose keep offset. If you choose this one, it will keep the distance in between these two bonds. So no matter how you move or what you did, they will keep the distance. So that's another thing we can do the operation. So for example, in the middle part, you don't want your model be affected by the bones. You can use it this way to do your controlling. Okay, so now let's do the third one. Press Shift A. Sorry, let's go back to object mode. Press Shift A, create a single bone, and move this one on the side. Go to edit mode and press EZ for extrusion. EZ for extrusions. And let's go to the front view or side view. Both of them will be fine. Let's press Shift A, create a cube. Scale down, press S for scaling down, and move this one to the center of the bone. Press Shift D, copy another one. Shift D. Okay, so now we have this 3 cube, and I want to use the bone to control this 3 cube. How can we do that? Let's go to pose mode, choosing the bone right here, choosing the box right here. But for now, you might find out, hey, why I cannot select the cube? That's because in the default setting inside Blender, they will lock object mode right here when you are under the pose mode. So once you uncheck, go to edit, uncheck the locking object mode, you can select the object now. Press Ctrl P and you can choose in different way. Okay, so this is how we can connect the model and the bone. First thing is you need to go to here, lock object mode. Okay, so once you uncheck this box, let's go to pose mode. Under pose mode, and select the object. Select the object first and select the bone. Control P, and you can just choose. There are many different ways to set the parent relationship. And very important thing, inside Blender, you must select the sum first. So for example, if you want the cube be controlled by the bone, you have to select the box first, and then select the bone second. And press Ctrl P, and call out the set parent menu. And this time, we're just choosing control by set parent to bones. So for now, this box will be controlled by the bone right here. Let's choosing the second one, the sum box, and choosing the second bone. Control P and choosing the bone. The third one, choosing the bone again. Control P. So for now, if you move, for example, let's move this one. Let's move again. As far as you can see, now we can using the bone to control the geometries. And you don't have to worry about that if you want to do the animation and if you don't want people to see the bones, you don't have to worry about these questions because inside when you are going to do rendering, the bone will disappear. It was transparent. And also you can just turn off this one and so that you will not see the bones anymore. Okay, but for now we still have to turn on this one, the overlay, the display mode. Otherwise you cannot see where the bone is. Okay, so through this way we can using the bones to control the geometries. And another question is that, for example, if my model is super huge, like let's try to using S and Z, SZ scale, and it almost hide all of my bones, and I don't know where it is. How can I solve this one? Actually, there is a very useful function. Let's select the bones first, and go to the skeleton right here. Sorry, not here. The view display. Right here. Go to the object data property, and for now when you select the bone, it will show this kind of skeleton little people, the stick man. And go to choose under the viewport display, choosing the in front sections. So for now, no matter what kind of position you are, you always can see the inner bones, and it's a very useful one. Especially when you are going to make a super complicated model, you can just choose in this section in front, and so that you can see the inner object, inner bones right here. Okay, so when we are working on our model, if you remember, for example, let's press Shift A, go to Object Mode, press Shift A, and create a cube. If you want to organize your model, we can press M and create a new collection for the model. So let's call this one Models. And click OK. So for now, you will see this model has been put under the collection of model right here. And for the bone, we have the same functions. Let's go to pose mode, choosing this bone, and you can see if you go to object data property, we have a layer system. It's very similar to the scene collections. So if you want to, for example, when you are going to do a human character, and for human character, it has super complicated skeleton system. So some part I want to show up, and some part I want to hide. So how can we do that? Let's select the bones right here and press M key. It's similar to the collection panel, but for this time we're using layer to control the visibility. So for example, for the third bones, I want to put in a third layer. So for now, you will not see them anymore. And for the second bone, let's press M again. I want to put this one in the second layer. And for the first bone, I will just put this one in the first layer. So if you select all of them, hold on your Shift key to select, it will show up in the same time. But if you didn't, they will totally disappear. Okay, so it's a very useful way to control the visibility of the bones. So for now, I want to move all of them back to the first layer. So let's press M and put them back to the first layer. So for now, you will see them on the first layer. And don't forget to click this one, otherwise you will not see your bones. Okay, so these two things, including the visibility, use layer to control the visibilities, and the second one is about using the in front to control, to show up as an X-ray so that you can see the position of the bone. These two things are very useful tricks to control and to manipulate the position of the bones. Okay. So we can use in one bone to control multiple objects. But what if I want to use in one bone to control one object and using that one to create the different positions or different gestures and animations? Let's do this, okay? Press Shift A under object mode and choosing, you can choose in cylinder or cube. I will choose cube again. And scale down, smaller, go to edit mode, choosing the face, and move this one up. And this time I will just using Ctrl R and increase the multiple sections. And we don't have to move, just keep this one like this. Press tab key again. Go to side view. And now let's go to wireframe mode, press Z to switch to wireframe mode. Let's create the bones for this model. So let's press Shift A, and or maybe I wanna use a little trick. Press tab key, select the face, button face right here, and press Shift and S. Selection, cursor to selections, and I wanna create a bones right here. Let's press tab key, go to the object mode, press Shift A, and call out the single bones right here. Go to the side view, edit mode, and press G and Z, move this one down right here, and press E for extrusion, EZ for extrusion, EZ for extrusion. For every section, it has to be, it need a bone, or you can try to go through two sections, and probably this part cannot be moved. Alright, so I will make a bone like this. Very important things. If you want to move this model, and probably I want to bend this tube in this side, so for sure these parts need a edge or need a section in the middle. If it doesn't have, probably it cannot work. Okay, so now since we have the bone right here and we also have the model right here, let's choose in both of them and press Ctrl P. And for this time, I want to use in with automatic weight. Okay, and once you apply this one, go to pose mode. Let's try to play around with our model. So for now, as far as you can see, we can use in our bone to control the pose of the model. Okay, and also if you want it more smooth, let's press Ctrl and Q, and we can have the subdivision modifier, and we can, I think this one probably will look more smoother. Okay, so that's another way we can do. But as far as I can see, because this one inside the in this part we don't have the joint in the middle, so it cannot move. But for this one, something like this or this one, because we have the sections and also we have the joints right here, so we can change, we can bend the tube right here. So very important thing, when you are going to design like a hand or like a arm, any kind of object which you can move, very important thing is that you need to do the right appropriate typology for your model. If you want to let move, then for sure it's supposed to have the section in the middle, otherwise they cannot move. Okay? So, but how can we know which part will be controlled by which bones? So for example, like this bone, based on the position we know it was controlled in this part, but how can we know this part will control? What if I want to use in the third bone right here to control this part. How can we do that? Let's take a look. Let's go to go to the bone selections. Let's go to the object mode first. Go to the object mode first and select the model. As far as I can see right now, under the object data property, you can see right here there is a multiple name. Then multiple group has different name. One bone point 001, bone point 002, bone point 003, and all the name was related to the name of the bone. So which means inside this group, all the point right here inside this group was controlled by the bone ones. And inside the second group, all the points right here, it was controlled by the bone 001, which means this one, the bone right here. Let's go to the poser mode and choose this one. As far as I can see, this is the bone 001, so which means the vertex right here, it was controlled by the bone 001. So based on this logic, you can know which part will be controlled by the bones right here. And also, let's go back to the object mode and choosing the model right here. And this time I want to do weight pen. So under the weight pen mode, as far as I can see, we've seen this kind of color gradients on our model. If you're choosing different vertex build, basically it means it has different kind of weight. And for the red color, which means it has the strongest weight inside your model, so which means this part will completely be controlled by the bone one, this one. And the yellow one, well, part of them will be controlled by the bone one. But if they are blue, basically they will not be affected by the bone one. So if you're choosing the second one, it will be different. And if you're choosing the bone 02, as far as you can see, you only control this area. So we can change that. So if you go to the weight pen mode under your model, selection your model and go to weight pen mode, you can change the weight. Let's go to tools. As far as you can see right here, and in this part, it's very similar to texture pen. You can press F to control the size of your brush, and also you can turn on the symmetry options right here. And you can start to draw. You can choose in different mode, mix mode or erase alpha mode, and you can change the weight. And if you choose this one stronger, draw mode, as far as I can see, right now we are under the bone 002. If you draw more part will be affected by the bone 002. Okay, and let's go to bone 4. I hope this part could be also affected by the bone 4. So if you draw, it will be very, very weird. Okay, let's try to do that. And let's go back to object mode and select your bone. Go to poser mode. Let's take a look. If you rotate this one, right now this part will be affected by the bone 004. Okay? So if I want to remove all of them, I don't want to do this one anymore. I want to do the texture pen by myself. I don't want to using the automatic weight. How can we do that? Let's go back to choosing the poser, choosing under the poser mode and choosing the bones, and choosing all of them, Auto and R, and switch back them to the back to the original positions. And this time, go to the select the model and select this one. Click the remove vertex icon. So once you do that, even you go to the pose mode, it will not be affected anymore. Okay, so that's the things. So if I want to do the weight manually, how can we do that? Select the model first, okay, and create a group. And the name of the group must be same, just like the target bone. So for example, this one is the, let's go to the polymer, choosing this one. This is the bone. This is the bone 0.001, bone 0.002, and bone 0.003, something like that. So if you want to do that manually, go to select your model and create a group based on the name of the bones right here, and click again, bone 0.001, create again, bone 0.002, bone 0.003, bone 0.004, and bone 0.005. So now we have 4 groups based on the bones we have. Let's select the first one, and under the object, under the selecting the object, and go to wet pan, and now you can start to pan. So for the bone one, very weird. I wanna use this one to control this area. It will be weird, but I think it will be fun. Reverse controlling. So let's use from the bone 002. Let's make this one control the second part. Okay. And for the bone 003, let's make them to control this area. Bone 003, sorry, 002, 003, right here. Bone 004, probably here, maybe more. And bone 005. Make this part control the last part. Okay, so that's the things I did for the bones. So, but if you, for now, if you just select the bones and go to polymer, if you move, it doesn't work. Okay, it works. Okay, cool. It actually it's supposed not to work because we haven't do the parent relationship. So actually, the things we need to do is select this one, select the bone you have. For example, like the first one, press Ctrl P, and choosing a match and deform. For this time, we don't have to redo the weight or do the bones, and we need just using amateur deform, and it will work. But because before that we already assigned the relationship using the automatic weight, so it still keep the relationship. So this time we don't have to keep. But anyway, as far as I can see, we can use this way to do the very weird animation actually. Okay, it was inverse, and this weight relationship was designed by ourselves, and we don't use the automatic weight, but usually we will using the automatic weight and using the wet pen to control to do some adjustments. So for example, let's do this. Press Shift A. Under the object mode, press Shift A, go to mesh and choosing cylinder, and move this one on the side. Press S key and go to edit mode. Select this one. Select the face right here, and move this one up. Press Ctrl and R, increase the section, and keep them in the same positions. Press Shift A, and under the object mode, press Shift A and choosing amateurs, single bones right here. Press S key, edit mode, press E, Z, easy, easy. Okay, and then select the model, select the bone, and press Ctrl and P, and choosing automatic weight. And under the selections of the model, go to wet pen, and you can start to control your weight. You can use in the pen, you can use a smear, you can make this, it looks like this. Also, you can use in average, make this one becomes more equal to each other's, something like that. Let's go back to object and go to the selection of the bones and using pose mode. So for now, well, you can, as far as I can see. So that's the thing. Usually, the things we will do, using automatic weight to give the model general weight, and then do manually adjustment. Okay. So for today, let's just give you a very general view about how to control, how to create the bones and how to use different way to create the weight. And there are still a lot of multiple, more advanced application of the bones, including how to use the bone to control the car. When the car moves, the wheel also will rotate, and also probably some like the how to make the bones be bent just like a tail, because as far as you know, the tail is more flexible. If you create so many different bones to control, it will be very complicated. So actually we can use in another way. Let's go to edit mode and choose this one, and we can choose in bendy bone right here to increase the section so that we can create something very similar to swan, or maybe just like a tail, and it can move dynamically but without so many different bones. But that's something more advanced, so not for today and not for this semester. Okay, so this is a general view of the how we can manipulate the bones, and next time we are going to do the bones for the bird and the monkey man. Okay, all right, so that's all for today. Thank you for watching. See you next time.